What's good, kings and queens? I'm Dame. Welcome to the Melanin Monday Movement. Alright, since this is my first video, I'm going to start off by talking about what is black to me. And the very first topic is our diversity. You can look at our skin color, our hair, the texture of our hair, our facial features. Every single black person that I see has something different. I mean, all people are like that, but black people take the cake by far. Our skin color ranges from the lightest with albinism, blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin, to the darkest you've ever seen, and all of it is beautiful. Your hair texture, you got thick hair, curly hair, you got straighter hair, kinky, whatever. Doesn't matter. Black people got all of it. Our skin, our hair texture, our hair color, our facial features, big noses, big lips, big butt, small. It doesn't matter. Every single black person is built differently. We're such a diverse culture, and we need to appreciate that. Appreciate the difference. Because we're not the same is what makes us so great. It makes us unique. We stand out amongst a crowd of people anywhere we go. And we need to take that in stride and run with it, because it just shows how beautiful of a culture we are, how strong we are, that no matter what we look like, we can come together and just be great. And it's that simple. All right, the next topic is our strengths. We've endured so much pain and heartbreak over the hundreds of years. Um, Africa, you know about how that goes. Slavery, that's a topic that I'll touch on later, but it hasn't stopped, not once. And through all these hard times, we managed to come through and fight through the struggles and fight for our freedoms, our civil rights, our basic human rights. Everything is something that we just had to endure. Racism, even still to this day, with the George Floyd cases, Trayvon Martin, all types of black men and women killed over the years needlessly. But even still, we fight for our brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, and children to get through these times together and push each other and motivate each other to be great, because that's what we are as black people. We're great. And no one can tell me different. I don't care who you are, Klansman, politician, president, it don't matter to me. We're the strongest people that I've ever met. And we've been through hell and back. And through all that, we're still going strong. And then on top of that, we're physically strong. I mean, why do you think they got us in the first place? To build this whole country that they don't even want us in. We're some of the strongest people on this planet. If we put our minds to it, we can do anything physically, mentally, whatever. We've endured it all. We can do it time and time again. And we got to teach our kings and queens to do the same and to keep pushing for equality, because at the end of the day, this world isn't going to be right if you got one of the strongest groups of people ever on this planet divided and torn down and torn apart our neighborhoods and communities. So we got to build together and strengthen ourselves even further than we ever have before, so that way we can reap the benefits that we deserve. Last but not least, struggle. I kind of touched on it a little bit with the last topic, but the struggle between in the black community is something that's unheard of and should never even happen in the first place. But let me start by the first one: racism. Very prevalent still, even if you try to pretend like color isn't an issue. It is. It'll be an issue for a while, but it's starting to improve. But you got people that look at us and it's like, we're thugs, we're criminals, break the law. Look at the prison system. So many black people in there for petty crimes, some more serious, obviously, and they should be punished as such. But For the most part, people just look at us. I got tattoos, I got locks. They're gonna look at me differently. They don't see me as a criminal or a potential criminal. Just offer it. That's before I even speak a word. And then on top of that, they think we're dangerous and violent. I've met some of the nicest people in the world, most of them black. Most of them are people of color. And just because we look a certain way, act a certain way, from a certain neighborhood, use a certain type of slang and stuff like that, does not take away from who we are as a people. And it doesn't automatically mean that we're a violent breed. We're just not. And instinctively, we got the same maternal, paternal mentality to take care of the children, raise them to be strong, independent leaders of a world that can care less about us a lot of the time. But now we're starting to see that the world cares a little bit more than we expected. And it's starting to open people's eyes and see that we are more than these violent thugs that they try to portray us as. And even worse is the thought that we're ignorant or stupid. And I've met lot of people. You got doctors, teachers, lawyers, everything, all walks of life as a black person. So you can't tell me that we're dumb. You can't tell me by the slang we choose to use, whether you grew up in Florida, Chicago, Cali, motherfucking New York. It doesn't matter. Just because we speak a certain way, dress a certain way, act a certain way, doesn't mean we're ignorant. Yeah, we sometimes put on that bill collector voice because we want people to perceive us as intelligent, but it shouldn't be like that. It's just about how we're raised. You don't blame somebody for speaking a different language. It's just what they grew up with. It's just what they were surrounded by. So if I'm surrounded by people with grills, sagging their pants, I'm gonna take to that. And I might reinvent it as my own, but for the most part, I'm gonna stay very closely to what I grew up seeing. And that doesn't intuitively, instinctively mean that I am ignorant by any means. And then they might say we're ghetto because we're from the hood. We ain't have nothing. We get a little bit of money. We buy some chains. We buy a grill. We do all kind of other stuff. Buy a nice car, but we live in the hood, and they might think we're unprofessional. You got people with permanent gold grills, but that dude could go to Harvard Law School right now and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year as an attorney, but because of how he looks, most people wouldn't even give him a chance. He might not get no ride into Harvard or any other Ivy League school because he was grown up a certain way. And when he was 16, he put golds in his mouth. And even though he might be the most well-educated person you know, they're not going to give him a chance because he's ghetto. And then we got the homosexual LGBT community, which there's so much that could be said. They're fighting for equality too. I support it. I got family and friends who are of the LGBT community, and I think nothing less of them for loving who they want to love. And that's what it boils down to, loving who you want to love. But within the black community, there's a lot of hate of the LGBT community. And so we talk down and speak down to each other as if being gay somehow makes somebody less of a black man or woman. They're still kings and queens at the end of the day. Just let them love who they want to love. And it's just that simple. It's there's nothing to worry about. If you're not gay, you don't gotta worry about no gay dude. If he hit on you, take it as a compliment, carry on. It's no big deal. You shouldn't get offended by some dude walking up to you thinking you're attractive or whatever. All you gotta do is be like, I'm sorry, bro, I don't roll that way, but I appreciate the compliment. Keep it pushing. It's just that simple. You don't gotta hate on a brother or sister for being gay, dressing different. Man could wear a dress, some press-ons, and he could still be somebody's best friend. He could still be my best friend if he cool. It don't matter to me. It don't matter, and it shouldn't matter to anybody. And the way our community has been treated over the centuries, we shouldn't be able to talk shit about nobody. Nobody. We should all come together as a whole and unite because it's all about our strength as a community. And by self-hating, we're destroying that community. We do that with LGBT, we do that with light skin, dark skin feud, we do that with everything. So much self-hate. We just need to overcome that shit. Just knock that shit out the park right now. This is disgusting. We don't need none of that in our community because it's tearing us down when I'm trying to build us up. And there's a lot of other brothers and sisters who are trying to build us up. White communities, Mexican, all over the world you can see right now. They're trying to build us up. They're trying to give us the rights that we deserve. And they're pissed. They're pissed that we're being treated this way. We're being killed needlessly and all these other things. And at the end of the day, this self-hate is us not knowing our own strength, our own value, our own worth. You got a little girl who thinks this white doll is the picture of beauty and thinks the black doll is mean or bad or wrong because she was taught to hate herself, that her skin color is less than. And we need to uplift each other and build each other and realize that we're perfect just the way we are. We're perfect just the way we are. And we don't need to deviate. We don't need to get nose jobs to make our nose little like Michael Jackson did. We don't need to get anything. Just stay how you are. You're naturally beautiful. And you will always be to me. And you even got some people who bleach their skin because they don't want to be black or they don't want to be look differently. They perm their hair, straighten their hair. It's a toxic thing that society has taught us, that white, straight hair is the standard for beauty, skinny, whatever. But then you see these chicks getting ass shots, they're getting boob jobs. They want our features. They don't want our skin and our struggle, but they want our features. And so we gotta just uplift each other, show the world the strength of the black community, and then we can build from there. The potential is limitless as soon as we come together. And that's what this whole movement is, one of the biggest civil rights movements in the world going on right now. And there's nothing we can do there's nothing we should do other than build each other up and be an asset to our community. Build the foundation for our kids to grow up to be the kings and queens that I know we could be. I got a 4-year-old son. I'm gonna raise him to be the greatest man I could possibly turn him into. And if you're not thinking in that way, you're wrong. And you're toxic and you need to get that shit fixed. Because we're trying to raise kings out here. We're not trying to raise criminals. If you haven't been told today, I love you.